The Supreme Court of Appeal in Bloemfontein in the Free State is set to hand down judgment in the appeal matter of Doctor Nandipha Magudumana. She challenged the Free State High Court decision to dismiss her application to nullify her arrest on the basis that she had consented to be brought back to the country. Makgala Masiteng is on this particular verdict hearing. So this is going to be quite an interesting one. Perhaps give us a bit of background into it and what time we can expect all of these proceedings to take place.
Indeed, Leanne, I think it is going to be an interesting day indeed. I just throwing back to what happened in November last year when both the legal representative of Nandipha Magudumana and also the NPA came here to the Supreme Court of Appeal back in November last year. It was a tough day, Leanne, because there was a back and forth between the five justices here at the Supreme Court of Appeal and the senior counsels, of course, trying to argue their case, where the legal representative of Dr. Nandipha Magudumana were trying to convince the Supreme Court of Appeal, of course, to nullify her arrest in Tanzania. So we might see a little bit of a split judgment on this matter, taking into consideration the fierce interrogation that we saw during those proceedings, where we might see not get an unanimous decision from the justices, but we will see, of course, whether Dr. Nandipha Magudumana managed to convince this court to, of course, nullify her arrest in Tanzania. If I go back to some of the arguments that they mentioned here, they were even premised on that decision of July 2023 of the Free State High Court, when they were dismissing her case to nullify her arrest in Tanzania, that they found that indeed her being brought back to South Africa was a disguised extradition, but they found that and also dismissed her application because they were saying she actually consented to come back to South Africa. But what her lawyers were arguing was the fact that they don't understand why the SAPS were in Tanzania back in 2023 in April, saying that they had no business going there unless they were going there to arrest Dr. Nandipha Magudumana. But we saw during the fierce interrogation that some of the justices even said that they are not convinced that Dr. Nandipha Magudumana was arrested by the SAPS in Tanzania. But we also saw, of course, the NPA, it was also adamant that Dr. Nandipha Magudumana was not arrested by the SAPS in Tanzania. In fact, she was arrested there by authorities there, and the SAPS only effected the arrest on her arrival here in South Africa at Lanseria Airport. But we'll see, of course, that judgment around 9:45 this morning here at the Supreme Court of Appeal.
Makgala Masiteng, thanks for that update, and we'll be covering that one for you as soon as it does come in.